90 minutes of total football. We are in Orange, we play total football. Let's get this thing done. Let's go.
The Canadian Premier League title is gonna go to Hamilton.
After an absence of nearly 3 decades, a truly domestic Canadian Football League was about to take shape. Seven communities stepped up to be part of the league's inaugural season. To create the identities of these 7 new clubs, football fans from each of the communities made their voices heard.
We are unique here because we were shaped by the sea. This is a very hard-working part of this country.
We're all super proud of this city, right? And we want a badge that we can take with us around the world and say, this is Edmonton.
Stretching coast to coast, they banded together to form a sporting experience unlike any ever seen in this country before. The guiding words were simple: for Canadians, by Canadians.
It's going to be a league filled with young Canadian talent.
These kids now have a chance to truly, for the first time, take this passion and try to live it.
Yeah, I mean, the launch of a new league is pretty unique in world football. For me as a player, it's a really cool opportunity.
Growing up, you were dreaming about how do I get overseas? So there was never that dream of, can I captain a team in Calgary and be a part of something historic like the Canadian Premier League.
After half a decade of planning, the Canadian Premier League finally came to life in April in Hamilton.
Into the back of the net. History has been made.
And as the miles and matches rolled on, 2 clubs pulled away from the pack and set their course for the inaugural CPL Finals. Cavalry Football Club put together a debut season for the ages. Led by Tommy Wheeldon, an Englishman who had come to make Calgary his home, Cavalry stormed to victory in the CPL spring season. After an impressive run to the semi-final of the Canadian Championship, Cavalry would eventually clinch their place as winners of the CPL fall season, rounding out a dominant opening campaign. Over 3,000 kilometers away in Hamilton, Forge Football Club had burst to life. But on the pitch, the team stumbled during the early stages. It would take until the second half of the spring season for Forge to find its feet. Led by Bobby Smirniotis, a coach noted for developing a long line of players to come from the Toronto area, Forge would eventually lead the charge to book the remaining place in the CPL Finals. And by mid-October, it was confirmed. Cavalry, winner of both the spring and fall seasons, would take on Forge, second-place finishers throughout the inaugural year. And what awaited the winning team was a chance to make history, a chance to be forever first to lift a Canadian Premier League title. There are 5 days until the first leg of the CPL Finals. Cavalry are hard at work at their training ground before flying to Hamilton.
Prior to this, even when I came back into Canada in 2002, I thought the best way of spending my time was not to be a journeyman footballer, but to invest in the grassroots of a great country, and did that through my time running the PASS Academy and then onto Foothills, and we had some success through there. And you look at players like your Charlie Traffords, before him Kevin McKenna's and Owen Hargreaves, Sam Adekubis, now you've got Marco Carducci's coming through. It's good to start having that platform because it has to be about the pathway. For me, it was a case of giving back to a country that adopted me and a city that embraced me, and I'm very proud to live here in Calgary. My wife's from here, my kids are born here. So for us now to to give a championship, another championship to the city. Our city loves winners. So for us, that's our focus, to put another piece of silverware in the city's history. You could say over 28 games, we've been the best team in the league. We've also gone furthest than anybody else when we went on our Canadian Championship run. All that's left to prove is, can we win a double-headed final? We have to go one more hurdle and become the undisputed champion, because we've treated it like a treble. The spring, the fall and the overall, so that's what we've got to do. And especially now, if you think when we're playing there, it's going to be windy as hell. They'll be up for it, you know, it's got to move it quick. We've just got 3 days now at home to prepare. Friday, we'll have our last kick through at Tim Hortons Field, as well as last little bits of technical detail, and then ready for first leg of the final. And that's where we're at. I haven't even thought about it. Well, we thought about it, but we haven't even planned, because it all depends on what happens in the first leg. We've had 3 wins, they've had 3 wins. Our 3 wins have been 2-1 in all 3 of the games. Their 3 wins have been 1-0 games. And then we've had the tie where we had the dramatic late penalty and the bench line clearances. So it's been very closely contested battles. And yeah, we're looking forward to a good final. We know they're not going to give us an inch, so we've got to gain everything we can.
So this is my mom and dad's house. Just recently moved out, so up until a couple months ago, this was still home. Don't tell my mom that, it's still home, of course. It'll always be home, but yeah, this is where I grew up. This is the neighborhood that I grew up in and spent all my life. As soon as I was walking, I was pretty much kicking a ball at the same time too. My dad was basically my coach when I was 14 years old, so pretty much from, you know, as soon as I started playing in goal, we would go out in the back and train almost every day. So Tommy and myself have known each other since when I was a kid. I'd play against his Foothills teams. I never played with Foothills growing up, but we'd played against each other several times. I kept in touch and you know, saw Tommy now and again when I'd come back home for the off season and that kind of thing. Once I started hearing some rumblings about the CPL and about the potential of a team being in Calgary, I instantly was like, Tommy's probably the guy I should ask. He kept me in the loop enough that I kind of knew something was going on, and he started telling me a bit more on the project here, and I bought in instantly. So this is the school I went to, kindergarten to grade 6. Very, very convenient. It was like probably 30 seconds. I could leave my door and get to school, so. 7 years of my life at that school, which is crazy. So my house is just back up there, my parents' house. And this field, it's a special one because I put in a lot of hours on that pitch. Sun, rain, snow even. It was my training ground, really. On this piece of grass here, we spend days, weekends, you know, after school, before a training session with the team, whatever it was. A ton of hours out here just working away, training, perfecting the craft, and yeah, a lot of special memories out here. I'm a born and raised Calgary boy, and I'm proud of it. It's extra special to be able to represent my city and play for my city's team, and to be the first, maybe one of the only teams to pull the treble. You'll be able to look back on and realize how amazing it was to be a part of this movement, and to be the first of whatever it might be individually is really special. But I think to be the first CPL champions, to be the first team and maybe one of the only teams to pull the treble, right? The spring, the fall, and the full championship would be incredible. And like I said, it's just something that it drives us to be better. It drives us to push for it. And you know, again, looking a few years down the line, you'll be able to look back and realize you were a part of something incredibly special.
In addition to their on-field dominance, Cavalry could also boast having created one of the most authentic football experiences in North America.
There was all these people that were just so excited to have soccer in Calgary, and you couldn't help but get involved and want to be part of it. And we started painting tifo and singing songs and going to the games, and it was amazing.
When they come into Spruce Meadows, A small field in the city of Calgary where they don't expect much, especially in terms of footy. They come in, you have 6,000 people, a full capacity stadium. It's euphoric, it is unreal, it is something that you don't expect.
The foot soldiers just drive the energy around the stadium. You can hear us build it up, and then you hear the sections just like 109, 108, 107, 106, and that carries around the entire stadium. You can really feel it.
Cavalry, cavalry, cavalry. Cavalry, cavalry, cavalry. Cavalry.
Calgarians don't care about the cold. We're gonna show up, and we're gonna be loud and rowdy and just thoroughly bring all the noise we can to support our team. We're gonna really put Hamilton back on their heels.
Let's go, baby! Let's
go! Across the country, Forge are preparing to be the first host of the CPL Finals. The first leg is a landmark that might mean most to Forge's technical director and head coach, Bobby Smirniotis. Before Forge, Bobby coached in the provincial ranks of Canadian soccer for Sigma FC. He rolled that experience into a young Forge roster brimming with Canadian talent.
The idea was to give a platform for players to play at the professional level. We just never had a professional league, so we always had to look for different opportunities for these players, whether it was in Europe, whether it was in North America through leagues like MLS or USL, and we had a great record with 6 players drafted in the MLS. But ideally what you want is you want that domestic championship, you want that domestic league where your players can make that natural progression, and not only for Sigma, but now we have it for across the country. I think the one thing that we respect amongst all is we've all put our foot forward into the fire in this first year. It's not easy to go into this challenge. It's not easy to go into it and say, hey, I'm going to go and try and build a club right from the beginning at the professional level, where, you know, winning is important as well. It's not just about developing, and I think we've all done that. And you know, Tommy comes from a background of working at the youth level and done some great things out at Foothills. So I mean, it's indicative that the two of us, we've done some very good work with youth players. We've both got teams here with some past to our organizations in the past and familiarity. And you know, I think that's what makes it exciting about this final.
The Forge faithful, led by the Barton Street Battalion, are excited for the match too. It's soccer the city hasn't seen until now.
My name is Alan Gorman. I run Barton Street Battalion.
My name is James Gorman, and I'm a proud member of the Barton Street Battalion.
Being able to come down to a game together, laughing and joking and winning and losing and all that, it just means the world to me to be able to have that here now. It was a chance for him to have his hometown be represented, and that's something that I grew up with and was obsessed with. I just knew it was something the second he was born. He was born during the 2010 World Cup, and it was the Holland-Uruguay semi-final. And about 3 hours after he was born, had him sat in front of the TV in the hospital and apologizing to him because I was going to brainwash him with the sport. The first game was nerve-wracking and exhausting, but at the same time, you get goosebumps still thinking about it. Seeing the team walk out and seeing everyone holding up the banner and the smoke going off, it was the best part of my week.
Forge's Tristan Borges is a CPL standout. Born in Ontario, Tristan played under Bobby for Sigma before making a name for himself in the CPL.
Growing up, I always knew that, you know, just scoring goals was something that I always enjoyed to do, especially assist some goals too. That was one thing I always did growing up, but hopefully I can continue to do for the rest of my career. Just ever since then, because I was always enjoying myself, I always felt the need to just be comfortable when I was playing, and I guess that kind of stuck with me growing up. Like I said, you know, going overseas a little bit for those few years kind of gave me a little bit of a cushion, just being more confident on the ball, and that's what I try to do every game. Coming home and being able to play in front of my family, my friends, people that have been with me since the day one that I started playing soccer has been huge for me. Especially to play at home with the crowd that we've had in Hamilton, and I just hope that we can cap it off with a nice championship.
most fines in the dressing room? Just fined at training.
Oh, Cadell. He showed up, we had training, we had to be at training at 7:30. He woke up at 10:30.
We definitely have the best fans in the league, and we're definitely proud to come in every week and to put a performance in front of you guys, because we know that you guys are always going to be loud for us, and we just hope to be together on that Saturday and to get a nice win and to go in Calgary and make an upset there and to bring home the championship for you guys. So thank you guys for the support.
Thank you. So we're just at the top of the battalion section, about an hour and so until kickoff. Yeah, we'll build up. In about 2 hours' time, we're going to destroy cavalry and everyone's going to lose their voice. If I could take a moment in, I would. I won't lie, I've not stopped all week. I put more effort into this in my work, to be honest with you. So yeah, I think once kickoff starts, I'll give myself a minute and and hopefully it'll be something incredible.
Forever first, the first leg of the inaugural Canadian Premier League Finals. Today, the two best out of the gate, start to finish, meet face to face, going toe to toe for the 8th time today. A chance to put themselves in position to win a trophy and capture the imagination of this country.
Make sure we're on the front foot. We keep on going forward against these guys. The atmosphere is great out there. It's great for you guys. Make sure it keeps on pushing towards their goal. Today we start writing the first sentence of history. And we'll finish it next week. 90 minutes of total football. We are in orange. We play total football. Let's get this thing done.
The game's not going to be won in the first 10 minutes. It's not going to be lost in the last 10 of this game. We've got 180 minutes to dissect them. Okay? Let's do it today in 6 15-minute periods, gaining momentum. Let's put them on their back foot in their backyard and put the pressure on them early.
Today is a moment. We're being thrown into the lions and we're outnumbered, but we show the strength is our identity. Come on, boy, come on! 1, 2, 3, go!
Continues Becker! The bar! Straight up and out! Best moment of the match. Turned around the wrong way. Cisse to Borges. Tristan Borges. Handball! Penalty! No doubt about that. Desperation defending. Waterman handles. Wow! Red card given. Versus Carducci. Tristan Borges. Save! Are you kidding me?
Massive save by Carducci.
4-man wall set. It's going to be Crutzen. Bends, hits the bar the second time. Forge has gone up the bar. Nanko flicks on. Carducci takes. Nanko turns. What a move! Little bit of magic from Chris Nanko. Cuts it back. Borges! It's Borges! It's gorgeous! The Forge man denied once on the penalty. Not this time.
Now it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out here. You know, if you're Cavalry, you want to dull this game down.
Borges. Good ball. What a save! Carducci runs Neko off the bar for the third time. It's Edgar denied. Borges. Wielden comes straight through on Borges. Leaves something in as well. A little bit of a kick out as Wielden goes down. It's going off here in Hamilton. Borges smart, just getting away, getting out of there. As Wielden remains down in the field. And Borges is being sent off! Oh my! Tristan Borges! The goal scorer! The best player in the Canadian Premier League! He can't believe it! Can you believe it? Borges needs to be corralled, led down the tunnel. Bobby Smiriotis livid. Final score for Tim Hortons Field. It's Forge 1, Cavalry no score.
It was Forge who held the advantage, but after a number of missed opportunities by the Hamilton side and with star player Tristan Borges being set to miss the second leg, the finals were far from decided.
Thank you, Hamilton.
Both teams fought hard, had a bit of everything, red cards on both teams, thoroughly enjoyed it. He's a bit down, but I said to him that's football and that's a learning curve. He's missed a penalty and then he's come back with an unbelievable strike and then he gets sent off. So it's a learning curve and it'll be something that he's going to have to deal with and move on.
Every single player played out their skin today. For a team that's won both sides of the table and we looked like the better team, I think that bar's still rattling after hitting it about 6 times today. One of the best performances of the season by a mile.
In the days that followed, both teams decided to appeal their respective red cards. But Canada Soccer ruled that only Hamilton would get their way. Joel Waterman would remain relegated to the touchline, but Tristan Borges would be getting on the plane to play the second leg in Calgary.
How confident were you that he would return for this leg, and how happy are you to have him back?
Are we happy? Of course. You're always happy to have all your players ready to play in the final match of the season. I think that's important. And to be honest, this is one of the first times this year where we've had all of our players ready and healthy to go.
Camera's on me, so
See, I gotta watch.
I found out actually right before we started traveling here to play this game. It was actually kind of a perfect timing to find out. I was with all the guys, we're all getting ready, and it was definitely something exciting for me to hear, to be able to play again with them. That was actually the biggest thing that I've been thinking about. Obviously, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but just to be able to play with these guys after going through a year that we had, and to be able to create history with them after having a great first game against Calgary is definitely something I'm excited for.
It's a bit surreal, right? It's difficult to look back now and realize, tomorrow, last game of this special journey we've been in so far, and it's a bit of a blur. A lot of moments along the way that, looking back, it's been a special year. There's a lot on the line. One more opportunity, 90 minutes to go out, go get a win, get a result, and hopefully we'll be the ones lifting the trophy after the 90 minutes.
This one's special because it's the first CPL final, so there's a little bit extra to it for me that would just be a great honor to lift the cup. I think if we were at home and we had a man advantage for 45 minutes and we only came away 1-0 up, knowing there was a second leg away from home, I think we'd be very disappointed. Whereas for us, this is our home, this is our fortress, this is our lion's den, as some of the guys put it. We got everybody behind us. It's been a privilege to be a part of.
I've had experiences in football where I didn't take time to take it all in. Promotion to the Premier League, my debut with Newcastle, and being able to captain Canada. These were huge moments in my career. But as a player, you get caught up in the occasion. You can sort of take everything for granted. I wanted this day to be different. On the way to the game, there was a nervous anticipation, a controlled aggression. I knew I was ready. I was just hoping that some of the younger guys were as ready for this as I was. The lads knew that lifting a first Canadian Premier League title was a chance that would never come back. This was our chance to be forever first.
It's the day we've all been waiting for. Despite having the 1-0 lead on aggregate, a lot of people expecting Forge to sit back. Bobby Smirnionis, head coach of Forge, he said that's not the case. They want that road goal. Marco Carducci made an incredible PK save in leg one to keep his team in the hunt. Forge is the only team to have defeated Cavalry at home, and now they're looking for the ultimate victory. Tristan Borges, the league's top goal scorer, will be playing. But who will be lifting the North Star Shield?
45 minutes before the game starts, we're really excited to see how they come out, and we're ready to bring the noise.
Woo! We're gonna win, baby!
I am so nervous. I hardly slept last night. I've been trying to get everything ready and be here so we can cheer them on right from the very start. There's everyone here from the Ultras to the Foot Soldiers to 109 and 108. We can already hear them going, and we can't wait to get this underway.
You get what you work for in life. We put out there in the universe that we wanted to be the bench setter, the bar maker. We've done that. We won the spring, we won the fall. Let's go and win the game.
90 minutes to make ourselves proud, 90 minutes to make everyone out there in the stands proud, 90 minutes to win a championship and do it. Come on!
Let's go! Come on!
Let's go! 1, 2, 3! Yes!
Let's go! Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Win! Come on! Let's go!
It's in this 100th game of this inaugural season of Canadian Top Flight Soccer. One of these sides will be the standard bearer, the first ever winner. Cavalry or Forge will stand alone as Kings of the North. Nico Pasquale from distance, high, just wide. Far post, Malonga's there, Malonga over top. First really good chance of the match. So far, so good for the visitors from Hamilton as Forge holds on to that 1-0 aggregate lead. Overlap, Sator plays a ball across. Anger's jump straight down and over the top. Malonga, second clear chance for Dominic Malonga's second miss. Agonizingly so. His first touch, it's a good one. Oh, narrowly missed. What an introduction that would have been. Instead, it's no way, Jose.
As time wound down, Forge had to defend the last set piece of the game, a corner kick in front of the Foot Soldiers at the Klopp end.
Carducci stays, the ball played to the far post. Malonga knocked down. Sator gets there. Was there some contact? It is a 2-0. Cisse, Chouanier, free run on Carducci. This seal it. Cisse to Chaudier. David Chaudier, he does it. The Canadian Premier League title is gonna go to Hamilton. 1-0 here at Atco Field, 2-0 on aggregate. As victory has been forged by the club from Steel City.
First title, yeah, first title
Put it into words. How
it's
do you
just
feel?
been emotional, man. Proud of it, proud to play for this team and glad I came in the league. Really happy. Footballers are a bit like ships passing in the night. You never know when you're going to play with someone again, and this is something that a bond will be created. I want to see them in 10 years at a dinner with their wife and kids. So, you know, it's pretty special. We created history, and I'm delighted to be a part of it.
You guys see that? That's champs. Everybody watch, look.
It was hard to come get a result here. You know, they had a great crowd and we knew it was going to be tough. They give 100% every single game. You know, we fought for 95 minutes. This is exactly what we deserve for how much work we put in the whole year.